Let's talk about the Orville.
I watched a few of the episodes in season 2.
All right.
To help with this conversation.
What'd you think?
It's good.
Yeah.
Just as good as season 1.
Really? You thought it was funny? Thought it was a funny show?
The laughs come maybe 1 or 2 an episode.
It feels like they had like a lot of good laughs.
In the first
season.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the humor...
I don't judge it on its humor alone because I didn't think the humor was carrying it in the first season.
I didn't think it was carrying it, but I definitely thought it was part of its charm.
Sure.
I thought that it was important to what they were trying to do because Star Trek was so Star Trek. Everybody was so stilted. Mm-hmm. Everybody was so staid. And it felt like, in a lot of ways, you couldn't relate to them until they did something, like, way out of character. And it made those moments where the show was legitimately funny or legitimately heartbreaking that made those instances stand out. And why John Delancey...
We don't need these anymore.
I
just realized.
And why John Delancey was so much fun in the show is because, despite the fact that he's literally a god, he might be one of the most relatable characters.
Okay.
So, the Orville Season 2 comes out, and it's just like the bones of great comedy are in there, but they're just not, like, it seems like they had an idea for a joke and went with their first idea for every punchline.
I agree with you.
Real obvious stuff.
I agree with you on that one. And because I remember there's a scene where they're talking about how, what's his name? Borat. No, the guy that's almost Klingon.
Bortus.
Yeah. When he has to do his ritual pissing thing. And like he has to go to his home planet and take a leak for the one time a year that it happens.
Uh-huh.
And they're at the little conference table and the captain has to give everyone the spiel, like what we're doing. We have to go to this home planet, and he's telling them, and they frame it up so nicely for all these pissing jokes.
Yeah.
And then they give 2 at the very end of the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't have to dominate it, but
it needed to be a thing.
It's also a silly idea for an episode, so it should be one of the funniest ones.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. They did not hit it out of the park as far as the humor is concerned.
Here's the big problem.
Uh-oh.
If it's not going to be funny,
it
should at least be good sci-fi. And they got lazy. Okay. No, like, I literally, like, so, spoilers.
Spoilers for the Orville Season 2.
Okay. Season 2 finale.
Yeah.
So they are fighting the Kaylon, Isaac's people, and we're in a mirror dimension.
Oh God, this is spoilers for me.
Yeah.
I only watched like the first 3 episodes of season 2.
You can stop, I promise.
No, I'm enjoying it though.
Okay, so they're fighting Isaac's people.
Yeah.
And they've lost quantum power. Mm-hmm. They can no longer go faster than the speed of light.
Okay.
The Kaylon are closing in on them, which, by the way, the Kaylons actually have pretty cool ships. The Kaylons are closing in on them, and they're in this system that's really close to a very small black hole.
Okay.
So they're like we can't outrun them. We're just gonna have to hide. And then somebody's like, what about the black hole? And then somebody else is like, we can't. The gravity will crush us. First off, not really. Mm-hmm. It'll stretch you, which will also not be fun.
Right.
So, and then Lamar, the smartest character, is like, let's go into the event horizon.
He's the smartest character?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they do that. They talk about that in season 1. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're right. Okay.
They're like, not if we go into the event horizon. The event horizon is the part of the black hole where light can't escape, so they won't be able to see us.
I'm sorry?
So, well, you see, what the event horizon of a black hole is it's the point of no return.
Right.
You go into you're in the gravitate. Okay, so you're actually in what black holes do is they accelerate every particle around them. You're being accelerated by a black hole at the center of our galaxy right now.
Sure.
Every particle that makes you up, and every particle you've ever interacted with is under the influence of this black hole.
Sure.
You get close enough to the black hole, it starts accelerating you past the speed of light.
Right.
That point at which it starts doing that is called the event horizon.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that they're called black holes is because it's moving particles faster than the speed of light towards its center of mass.
There is no light.
No particles. There's no particle in the universe that can move fast enough to escape it.
Sure.
Including big ass ship.
Right.
So they go into the event horizon.
Uh-oh.
They wait there. They talk a little bit about time dilation, which was interesting.
Uh-oh.
So like they basically wait them out. It takes them 5 seconds, but they're gone 9 hours.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. But the thing is that while you're in there, you have to talk about why you're not spaghettifying and how you're getting quantum drive back online in order to escape.
Right.
Because they didn't. They just kind of flew out of a black hole.
Can't do that.
No, you can't. You can't even fly away from it.
Right.
Even if you're not past the event horizon,
Mm-hmm.
you have to orbit it and gain speed. And and the thing is that the solution for this, and I keep telling people this, I'm a crazy person who won't stop talking about the science of the Orville and the story structure.
Uh-huh.
The thing is that on that ship, you've got the Union's best pilot and the smartest human.
Uh-huh.
All right? Event horizons are not easily defined. We observe black holes based upon what we don't see around them.
Correct.
So it should have had Lamar making calculations in order to figure out exactly where the event horizon was, and then Gordon taking those calculations and making a flight path where he's just circling this thing over and over again, daring the Kalons to get closer and closer to the event horizon until they find one little blip where like it does this, because we don't know.
Yeah.
Where they find one little blip and it's like, if my calculations are correct, the wavelength of the gravitational force is going to valley there. Punch it. Zoom. They go through a valley, a literal valley in the wavelength of the gravity. They go through it and like the sea of reeds in the Bible just smashes into the side of the Kalon and they're done.
Cool.
Would have been so much more exciting, would have been so much smarter. And they couldn't. I made that up seconds after watching it. Took me no time.
One of my favorite things to do with you is just watch you rewrite stuff because you get so excited.
It just ain't that hard.
No, they play a little fast and loose with science throughout the entire series.
They were pretty good previously.
Not too bad. Yeah, they have not been too
The
bad.
theoretical two-dimensional universe was cool. They had great stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry.
Mm.
Is it that one episode that bothers you the most?
It's that one episode that made me give up on the Orville.
Oh, shit.
Never again!
Oh!
Never again!
You're good, Seth MacFarlane!
I think the problem...
Yeah.
This is another unkind thought.
Uh-oh.
I think that Seth MacFarlane is in a really good place emotionally.
Yeah.
The jaded cynicism of his earlier works are gone. And
I think money does that to you.
He finds the world harder and harder to complain about.
Yeah, no, the stories so far in season 2 have all been personal stories. It's all about the characters themselves. They don't spend a lot of time on the science or
That's
anything
fine.
else. No, I'm saying that's fine. I'm saying that's what so far my experience has been in season 2 is that you get these personal stories about which I like because especially the first chunk of the season 1 of Star Trek Next Generation didn't do this either. It was all about the science and the politics and whatever.
I'm gonna look up one thing.
Go ahead.
But because I might be a little wrong.
What about black holes?
Yeah, I might be a little wrong. I just thought about it. What if the event horizon works a little bit differently than I thought? Can you escape? I'm gonna figure out right now. And if I'm wrong, I'll cop to it.
Here's
and
the
I'll
thing.
apologize to Seth MacFarlane on Twitter.
Here's the thing about science, space science, astronomy. I always have to second guess myself before I say that word.
Cosmology.
Make sure I'm not going to say astrology.
Say cosmology.
Cosmology.
Yeah.
It's I think more so than a lot of stuff we experience here on Earth and are more easily witnessed is that space science is a little bit inexact. because we're not able to witness things and see the evidence of everything up close, which is part of the reason that stuff like on dark matter and stuff like that is so hard to figure out. It's something we're never even going to be able to touch, see, or anything.
Yeah, but the thing is that when they do stuff like that, where we talk about things that we're currently not capable of, they in Star Trek and even in the Orville, they would talk about how they fixed it.
Right.
Supercomputers in Star Trek are a quick one. They at the time they didn't know that we were going to move to digital information. At all.
Right.
And so what they did was they essentially said, okay, everything's still on tape, but we're so technologically advanced, we can make tapes microscopic.
Right.
Yeah, so... you used to, literally put in, a VHS. Some of the early ones were VHS. You used to literally put, a VHS in your computer to run a rudimentary program. Mm-hmm. Now we can hold the largest library that you've ever seen of those VHS tapes in the palm of our hand. So they explained it.
Mm-hmm. They've been actually doing some really cool stuff with data, and how they actually have been able to put data as small as on a DNA strand, something like that, and they can store.
Hold on, this is going to take just a little bit of my... Okay, so the event horizon is a sphere around a black hole from inside which nothing can escape its clutches. Hawking's is suggesting that the information about particles passing through passing through is translated into a kind of hologram, a 2D description of a 3D object. It sits on the surface of the event horizon. The idea is that supertranslations are a hologram of the ingoing particles. Thus, they contain all of the information that would otherwise be lost. Basically, you see a photon go in, the radiation coming off of it kind of creates an afterimage. So, how does that help something escape from a black hole? In the 1970s, Hawking introduced the concept of Hawking radiation photons emitted by black holes due to quantum fluctuations. Originally, he said that the radiation carried no information from inside the black hole, but 2004 changes his mind, says it could be possible for information to get out. Just how this works is still a mystery, but Hawking thinks he cracks it. His new theory is that Hawking radiation can pick up some kind of information stored in the event horizon as it's emitted, providing a way for it to get out. But don't expect a message from within, he said. The information about ingoing particles is returned, but in a chaotic, useless form. This resolves the information paradox for all practical purposes. The information is lost.
So as we understand black holes, based on Hawking's research, is that it is not possible what they did on the Orville.
No.
Yeah.
The thing is, fix the quantum drive. You want to escape? Use space magic. I don't care. Just say something. Say one thing. Just say, oh, we learned that have Seth MacFarlane turn to the camera and be like, by the way, we learned that black holes don't work like that in the future.
You would have loved that.
I really would have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that stuff's going to bother me as much because, like I said, I'm enjoying the stories they're telling so far.
Star Trek is supposed to teach you things. It is. They worked hard to make
this
sure
isn't
that...
the Star Trek!
It is Star Trek! That's what it was supposed to be! It was supposed to save us from whatever the hell NBC's putting out right now. I didn't even watch it. What is it? Water Bears? Pretty sure it's Water Bears.
Oh, okay. It's Water Bears.